we are dealing with. If we then, Chair, move to...
Sorry, I think I missed two names. Did you include both items 23 and 24, Colonel Maleka and Lieutenant Colonel Maluleke?
Yes, Nehemiah Maleka, who's 14.1, is included. It's item 23.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
And 24?
Maluleke, I had...
Not.
Maluleke is not listed, is not part of his paragraph 14.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
Now, paragraph 15 then involves other persons, the first being Minister Senzo Mchunu, and the request in that respect is item 1 of the page 7. The next is General Phahlane. And item 4 on page 7. Thereafter, it's followed by Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi, that's item 6. And Lieutenant General Fani, that's item 7. And lastly, Major General Feroz Khan, that's item 11. So that would, on my estimation, leave, if we go then page 7, it will leave item 5, Lieutenant General Shadrach Sibia. It will leave out item 8, Lieutenant General Kosi Sintumule. Item 9, former General Sandra Tema. Item 10, Major General Lesija Sinona. Item 12, Major General Richard Shibiri. Item 16, Brigadier Patrick Netengwe. 18, Brigadier Petunia Reabedzu Linono.
Sorry, Netengwe is 14.4.
Oh, the error is mine. Yes, it's quite good. Thank you, Commissioner. Then that takes us to 18. 18 is dealt with, yes, at item 14.6. So after Major General Shibiri, then we would jump to 24, Lieutenant Colonel Maluleke. Yes, we've got Malika. And then Sergeant or Captain Zungu, as the witness has stated, and Commissioner Julius Mkhwanazi at item 28. Those are the persons that he has not addressed in the statement or his relationship with them.
Ms. Zillo, it might be I missed it. Item 2 and 26.
Yes, item, indeed. 26 would be Faningosi. That's quite, I confused that with Mulefe Fani. That would be correct.
And did you mention item 2?
I miscounted it as a matter, as somebody he had dealt with in his statement. The Commissioner is quite correct.
Thank you.
Chairperson,
yes.
I do feel compelled, maybe as client is not legally trained, to just highlight the following issues. In addition to what the client has said, I was not the deponent, or I didn't assist with the drafting of this affidavit, but I was consulted on issues relating thereto. The persons that were left off also relates to IDAC. There's certain investigations conducted by IDAC, it was going to be dealt with in the supplementary affidavit. There was information that the attorneys endeavored to obtain from IDAC that, put it this way, that they battled to get, but we're dealing with it in a different way. So the legal basis is not only based on the statement that's at issue, but it relates to investigations that were conducted by IDAC. And I think I'm going to stop there because we do intend to basically also set out for you the legal basis as to why these names cannot be dealt with also vis-a-vis IDAX investigations. And then specifically, I can also mention in respect of the last person, I think it's General Mkhwanazi from the EMPD, there's certain further information. It all relates to the issue of suspect, the legal definition of a suspect, etc., and your rights afforded to you as a suspect. I just wanted to place this on record. May I please you?
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Phahlane.
Thank you, Chair. So we understand the reason why then some of the people who've been left out on the list were left out. We accept that they will then be addressed in the supplementary statement to be filed, and we shall pick it up from there when that statement is filed. Let's then turn our attention, Mr. Matlala, to your paragraph 15, where you then deal with the 5 people. At 15.1, you recall that the request to you had been to explain the history and relationship you maintain with the specific persons listed at page 7, and to give the details as to the nature and extent and frequency of your communication, etc. You deal at 15.1 with your relationship with Minister Mchunu, or if there is any, if you could then address yourself to your paragraph 15.1.
I place on record that I do not have any relationship with Minister Mchunu. I have never met Minister Mchunu and have had no interactions with him, nor have I been at any gatherings where he was present. It suffices to say that I do not know Minister Mchunu.
And just a question of clarification here, you say you have had no interactions, I take it, with personal interactions.
Yes.
Have you had any interactions on your behalf? Have there been any interactions on your behalf with Minister Mchunu to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
Initiated by you? Had you ever requested anyone to engage with him on your behalf?
No, it was only during when we had to confirm whether we know each other. There's a letter that I sent to, it was sent, I think, to the IDAC committee.
Yes.
So it's that interaction that I'm referring to.
So that's the interaction you had with him? Are you able
Not
to...
with him directly.
Oh, yes?
Yes.
Please clarify.
Not with him directly.
Through who?
Through the attorney.
Okay. The attorney being his attorney or your attorney?
My attorney and his attorney.
Okay. Sorry. Now you have specified the interactions you had with Minister Mchunu through your attorneys, and you referenced a particular letter you submitted to, or that was submitted to Parliament, and you said this was through your respective attorneys, both yourself and Minister Mchunu's. Have you had any other dealings or interactions with him through interactions by others?
No.
None.
No.
Then if we go over... Yes,
Before
please.
Mr. Mchunu's foundation, have you had any dealings with it?
No, nothing.
Thank you, Commissioner. Now, perhaps because you were requested at 2.2.5, when you speak of any particular individual, to indicate whether you have exchanged information with them. At 2.2.6, whether you have given or offered any gifts. If you look at paragraph 2.2.6 of the notice, do you confirm that you have not taken any step that constitutes an offer of gift or sponsorship to Mr. Mchunu, whether directly or indirectly? Is that your position?
No, I've never is.
Okay. If then I can invite us to page 13. At page 13, you deal The same questions, but now in respect of former General Phahlane. You deal with that at 15.2.
I place on record that I know General Phahlane. I'm unable to recall how many times I have met with him, and place on record that these meetings were, to the best of my knowledge and belief at the time, when he was no longer within the employ of the subs. I confirm that I have no business dealings with General Phahlane, nor have I ever asked for any favors from him or offered him any gratifications.
In light of your response in regard to General Phahlane, may I then ask you, insofar as Minister Mchunu is concerned, specifically, whether you have ever asked of him any favors?
From General Phahlane?
No, Mr. Mchunu, I'm going back because when you speak of General Phahlane, you specifically say you've never asked for any favors from him or offered him any gratifications. That is a claim you don't make in respect of Mr. Mchunu. So my question to you is whether you have ever asked of any favor of Minister Mchunu.
No, I have never asked any favors from him.
You then, at paragraph 15.6, deal with your relationship with Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi. If you could read that into the record.
I place on record that I know and have on one occasion met Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi. I do not have any relationship with him.
Are you in a position to describe very briefly, even just highlights, this meeting on this one occasion? Are you able to provide any detail?
I cannot provide any details because it has to do with the case that I'm attending in Pretoria for Medicare tender.
Sorry, please say that again.
I'm saying I cannot provide any details because my meeting with General Mkhwanazi, it has to do with the tender that I had with SAPS.
Okay.
Which now I'm attending court and I'm charged for that matter.
So if I understand you correctly, then your meeting in that occasion you reference involved the Medicare 24 tender?
Yes.
Did it involve any other issue besides the Medicare 24 tender?
No, it has to do with Medicare 24 tender.
Your voice tends to drop sometimes, or maybe my hearing is not what it should be.
I'll try to speak next to the speaker.
You can pull them closer to you if more comfortable. Thank you. Yes, no, my question had been on that particular one occasion because you say you've met with him only once. I hear that you say that meeting involved or related to the Medicare 24 contract, which you say is part of the ongoing criminal trial.
Yes.
My question was whether or not you discussed any other matters outside the Medicare 24 contract, and if so, what those were.
Yeah, there is something that we discussed except the Medicare 24 tender.
Are you able to shed light on what was discussed?
Maybe again, Chairperson, this particular issue, I want to request for a number of reasons that it be parked. We intend to bring, if necessary, again in law, an application to the Commission to deal with that issue differently. So at this point, I respectfully submit that for reasons that we've also disclosed to the evidence leaders, I do not think it's pertinent or prudent at this point to deal with this issue. We will deal with it in the supplementary affidavit together with a specifically application as to how we wish to deal with that aspect, because the client's already indicated to you that there's a relation to the Medicare contract and it flows from there. Thank you very much.
But Mr. Matlala has just said that it's not related to the Medicare 24 contract.
It is indirectly related to it. As I said, my client is not an attorney or an advocate. He doesn't understand the legal, the finer points of the law in as much as how you indicate direct or indirect or related to?
Chair, my challenge is if we approach matters on that basis, then anything that was discussed on that one occasion, including any potential Christmas gifts, cannot be discussed simply because the Medicare 24 contract happened to be discussed in that meeting. Now, Mr. Matlala has specifically, as the chair points out, that there were other matters discussed that are unrelated to Medicare 24. Now, if Ms. van der Heefe wants the matter to be parked, as she suggests, the least she could do, I would suggest, is to advance a legal basis to the commissioners for why this matter should be parked. I do not see, even if she were able to, I do not see why the witness cannot comment just in general on the topics that were discussed and the detail to be unpacked in the supplementary statement. Thank you, Chair.
Chairperson, on that issue, if necessary, I will file a substantive application to deal with it and ask that that application be heard in camera. Thank you.
I just want to be sure, is the point the simple one that the other issues that were discussed, which Mr. Matlala says are not related to Medicare 24, but which you say are indirectly related to Medicare 24, that Mr. Matlala is claiming the privilege not to incriminate himself. Is that your point, Ms. van der Heefe?
My point actually goes further, Chairperson, and that's why I say, with the greatest of respect, allow us the opportunity on that issue alone to set it out, file a substantive application, and set out to you the reasons as to why we believe that should not be dealt with in an open forum.
But in broad and general terms, why can't we hear now what the extension beyond the privilege is, in broad general terms, not any detail?
Chairperson, then I'm going to ask that I just deal with this issue with the client during tea time, and that we then come back after tea time to that particular issue. I need to take an instruction on him as to exactly how he feels comfortable in me addressing you on that issue. As I said, please understand it clearly. This is not to interfere with the flow of what we're busy with. But I also have my client's interest at heart when I address this issue. But I'm quite willing to have a quick discussion with him during the tea period and come back to this to see how we can deal with it.
Perhaps in the interest of time, Ms. Lo, for now, let's just park the issue and revisit it when we come back after the tea.
I'm happy to do so, and I see perhaps it is about that tea time, but if I could just conclude on paragraph 15, and then we'll revert to this issue. Except to go on record and say, Mr. Matlala has got a full appreciation of the fact that the other issues that were discussed bear no bearing on the Medicare 24 contract, and that's the understanding that he gave to the commission, to the commissioners in response to a question, and he is very clear about that. But we shall park the matter and we will pick it up after tea. For the moment then, Mr. Matlala, let's go to your paragraph 15.3. This time you are addressing your relationship with Lieutenant General Fani Molefe. If you could read the contents of 15.3 into the record.
I place on record that I do not have any relationship with Lieutenant General Molefe Fani. I have never met him and have had no interactions with him, nor have I been at any gatherings where he was present.
And that will then lead us to your paragraph 15.4, where you specifically then deal with your relationship with Major General Khan.
I place on record that I do not have any relationship with Major General Khan. I have never met him and have had no interactions with him, nor have I been at any gatherings where he was present. It suffices to say that I do not know him.
And I take it that if one has regard to paragraph 2.2 of the notice of the 10-6 notice, that insofar as both Lieutenant General Fani Molefe and Major General Feroz Khan you cannot speak to the issues raised in paragraphs 2.2.1 to 2.2.7, because you, as you say, you do not know them at all, and therefore the issues that are raised in those sub-paragraphs do not arise in regard to them. Is that your position?
Yes, of course.
Thank you.
Let us